you can see that joins has allows us to select or retrieve or query data from multiple tables. So last week, what you did was just basically select data from a single table. Okay, so if you want to have because in the DB world, usually databases are broken down into small tables, very tiny. I shouldn't say not tiny in size, but tiny in the way they are structured. Okay, so we'll learn about that in a couple of weeks. A process called normalization. We have to normalize your data, a database, so that it become more efficient to reduce what we call redundancy, right? Redundant data. And if you have a lot of redundant data in your table, then it's not very efficient because chances are you might overlap them, or you might have, so imagine if you have a lot of repeated data in there, and if you have to go into the table and make some changes, that's going to take you, a really, really long time to do that. If you have, let's say, 1 million records of a million people, and suddenly, all of those or half of those change to a different department, right? So let's say 10,000 of those people or employees actually belong to the IT department. Suddenly now the IT department's been changed to something else. So that means you have to go into the code and change every one of those records to match that. And so those are repeating data, and we'll learn about that later. But for now, the reason why you have the join is because of that reason. We have a table of, let's say, students, right? So your students, I could put all of your records into a single table, have your ID, your name, your grade, your major, your courses, and so on, all in one single table. And that's usually the case when you do Excel sheets, right? You have a long Excel table, and everything's there. You have like maybe 20 different columns, but a lot of those data are repeated. And sometimes in even Excel, you can even modify so that you can pull data from a different Excel sheet into one column. So that is also a process of normalization, right? So instead of that, you will break it down into each own unique table, and then because I can break it down so that your record, your classes can be stored in a separate table, your personal information like your address and so on could be stored in a different table, and then maybe I can have another table called just maybe student ID or something like that, store only the IDs for the students. And then those three tables can be all linked together using a very special key that match all of them, which is maybe your student ID, right? You can match them all. So that way, each table is uniquely defined and they have only one entity, right? Remember that a table should be only one single entity, one single object, about one single object only, right? And this is one of the rules later on when we learn normalization. So in this case, for example, the films table should be only about the films. Okay, it should be related to the films only. I should not put, like other things in here. Okay, and then you have the actors table should be only about actors. I shouldn't put like the movie titles and the film in the actors table, because the movies or films can be broken down to a separate table and then just link them together through a special ID, right? So in this case, for example, here, so when tables are broken down like that into many pieces, then you want to be able to relink them back together again to pull those data. And you do that by using joins.